Venezuela's capital city has been jolted awake in the dead of night.
1:58 in the morning. They're attacking Fort Pula.
It was just past midnight when the first whispers of chaos began to appear across Caracas. Citizens woke to the distant rumble of explosions and the sharp crackle of gunfire in the streets. Streetlights flickered as low-flying aircraft circled overhead, leaving streaks of bright light in the dark sky, almost like silent warnings. No one in Venezuela or anywhere else had expected this. A sudden, coordinated strike by the United States in the heart of the capital, aimed at both military facilities and government centers. The exact timing was a mystery, but sources claimed that the operation was designed to catch the Venezuelan leadership completely off guard. People crowded around their phones, checking live updates on social media, sending messages to friends and family, and trying to understand what was happening. Videos began to circulate, showing black smoke rising from government buildings, flashes of light illuminating the night sky, and armored vehicles moving quickly through the streets, sometimes stopping suddenly as explosions shook the surrounding areas. Each video was like a tiny puzzle, a snapshot of a moment in a chaos, but none gave a full picture, leaving everyone on edge. News channels began to break into regular programming, showing the flashing images and warning of potential danger. Hooks were everywhere. The first flashes of light, the low hum of aircraft engines, the sudden explosions, all combining to create a feeling that this was not just a military operation, but a story unfolding live in real time. The news spread like wildfire. International media rushed to get verified information, but conflicting reports created even more tension. While some claimed that President Nicolás Maduro had been targeted directly at his residence, others suggested that the military facilities were the main focus, and that the government had anticipated some level of attack. The suspense was electric. Governments across the world were monitoring the situation closely, issuing statements urging calm, while analysts debated the possible motives behind such a bold action. Time became critical. Every passing minute seemed to matter. In Caracas, citizens were leaving their homes to see what was happening, while others barricaded themselves inside, fearful of the unknown. Each explosion seemed to mark a new chapter in the story, and each social media post added layers of speculation and tension. As the clock ticked past 1 a.m., live coverage showed images of black smoke spiraling into the sky, punctuated by flashes of fire, and the sound of distant sirens filled the air. The operation seemed precise, almost surgical, as if the planners had mapped out every detail to minimize interference from Venezuelan forces. Yet from the outside, it looked chaotic, unpredictable, and frighteningly real. Even people far from Caracas followed the updates, checking the time constantly to see what the latest developments were. Analysts speculated on the timing of the strike, suggesting that it might have been chosen to coincide with a security meeting inside the presidential palace. The uncertainty of what exactly was happening inside the government buildings, whether Maduro was safe or whether there were casualties, made every tick of the clock feel heavy and suspenseful. For ordinary citizens, the combination of explosions, low-flying aircraft, and unclear reports created a tense atmosphere that no one could ignore. Children woke up crying, families huddled together, and newsrooms around the world worked frantically to provide updates. Each update acted as a hook, a new piece of information that drew people deeper into the story, making them watch, read, and wait with bated breath. As dawn approached, the first reports suggested that some key figures might have been detained, but verification was impossible. The suspense hung over the city like a heavy cloud, and international observers warned that the situation could escalate further at any moment. By 2 a.m., even the most experienced analysts admitted that the full scale of the operation was still unknown. The world was witnessing an event that combined speed, surprise, and the uncertainty of real-time news, where every second brought the possibility of new developments. It was a moment when time itself felt like a character in the unfolding drama, each tick of the clock adding weight to the suspense and fear of what might come next. Every video posted, every live tweet, every news broadcast acted as a hook, pulling viewers deeper into the story, keeping them glued to their screens as the events of that night began to shape the course of history in Venezuela. Citizens, journalists, and governments alike waited anxiously, wondering what would happen in the next hour, how the world would respond, and what consequences this strike might have in the hours, days, and months to come. The tension was palpable, the suspense almost unbearable, as the first chapter of this shocking event unfolded in the darkness, leaving everyone watching and waiting for answers that might not come immediately. The night stretched on, marked by flashes of light, distant booms, and the eerie hum of aircraft, each moment acting as a hook that pulled people deeper into a story that no one could ignore. Time, suspense, and uncertainty combined to create a dramatic scene unlike anything the world had witnessed in decades. As the first light of dawn began to creep over Caracas, the world was still holding its breath. Reports emerged that President Nicolás Maduro and his wife were allegedly captured by United States forces. According to U.S. officials, the operation had been carried out with precision timing, designed to ensure that key military units could not interfere. They claimed that Maduro had been escorted to a secure location for questioning and potential legal proceedings, though the exact location was not disclosed. Meanwhile, Venezuelan authorities denied the reports, calling them propaganda, and insisting that the president remained in the country. This conflicting information created a whirlwind of confusion across the globe. Journalists scrambled to verify the news, analyzing satellite images, eyewitness reports, and official statements, but no single source could confirm the truth. Social media exploded with videos, some claiming to show Maduro being escorted by armed forces, others showing military checkpoints and roadblocks. Each post acted like a hook, pulling viewers deeper into the mystery. Experts around the world debated the legality of the operation, questioning whether the United States had the right to conduct strikes on foreign soil and detain a head of state without international approval. Governments in Latin America responded swiftly. Some condemned the U.S. actions as violations of sovereignty, while others called for calm, urging both sides to provide clear evidence. The international community watched closely, knowing that even a small mistake could escalate into a larger conflict. Meanwhile, citizens in Caracas were unsure what to believe. Some left their homes to witness the events firsthand, while others barricaded themselves inside, fearing the worst. Reports suggested that some military units were repositioning, and security forces were increasing their presence in strategic areas. Every tick of the clock seemed crucial as the news unfolded in real time. Time-stamped videos of explosions, armored convoys, and roadblocks appeared online, each clip adding to the tension and uncertainty. Analysts speculated on the motives behind the strike, suggesting that it might have been intended to remove Maduro from power quickly. But others warned that destabilizing the government could lead to chaos in Venezuela and the region. Meanwhile, international media broadcast live updates every minute, emphasizing the urgency and unpredictability of the situation. In homes, offices, and newsrooms, people refreshed their screens constantly, watching every new report for confirmation or contradiction. Hooks were everywhere. Sudden statements from officials, breaking news alerts, unverified videos, and eyewitness tweets, all designed to keep viewers engaged and on edge. The suspense was electric. Even as the morning progressed, there was no clear answer about whether Maduro had truly been captured. Some reports suggested that the president had been moved quietly to an undisclosed location, while others claimed that he was still coordinating with loyalist forces. Economists warned that the uncertainty could affect global markets, especially oil prices, as Venezuela is a major oil-producing country. Citizens abroad followed the news nervously, checking the time for the latest updates, knowing that each new hour could bring significant developments. The conflicting reports created a feeling of tension that extended far beyond Venezuela's borders. Every announcement acted as a hook, pulling the global audience into a complex web of information, speculation, and analysis. Journalists described the atmosphere in Caracas as tense and surreal, with streets eerily quiet in some areas and filled with military activity in others. Even social media influencers and ordinary citizens contributed to the growing suspense by posting images, videos, and live updates that sometimes contradicted each other. Governments around the world were forced to respond quickly. Some urged restraint, while others demanded immediate evidence to verify the alleged capture. The situation remained fluid, with every passing minute adding to the uncertainty. Analysts predicted that the coming hours could determine whether Maduro's removal was permanent, temporary, or simply a false report. The suspense was compounded by the lack of official confirmation, turning the world into a waiting room where each tick of the clock brought new speculation. International organizations prepared emergency sessions, diplomats exchanged urgent messages, and analysts tried to map out every possible scenario. The tension in Caracas mirrored the tension around the globe. Citizens, journalists, and governments alike were caught in a web of uncertainty, each moment acting as a hook that kept them watching, reading, and listening. By mid-morning, the story had become one of the most talked about events worldwide, with every news outlet, blog, and social media platform reporting updates, rumors, and expert opinions. The alleged capture of Maduro, whether true or not, had already changed the narrative of Venezuelan politics and international relations. The world waited, holding its breath, as the hours ticked by, wondering what the next update would reveal, and how the story would unfold in the fragile balance between military action, diplomacy, and public perception. As the news of the U.S. strike and the alleged capture of President Nicolás Maduro spread, the world reacted with shock, fear, and intense curiosity. Governments across the globe rushed to issue statements, each with its own tone and urgency. European nations called for calm and urged verification of the facts, while neighboring Latin American countries condemned the U.S. operation as a violation of international law. News channels provided continuous live coverage, often interrupting regular programming to report on new developments, displaying time-stamped updates every few minutes. Analysts and experts were brought on air to dissect the implications, debating the legality, morality, and strategic reasoning behind the strike. Social media exploded with activity. Videos, images, eyewitness accounts, and rumors circulated rapidly, each acting as a hook to keep audiences engaged. Some claimed to show Maduro being moved by armored vehicles, while others showed explosions near government buildings, sometimes repeated from earlier posts, creating a mixture of verified and unverified content. Every update seemed to pull viewers deeper into the story, making them feel as if they were witnessing events in real time. Even ordinary citizens around the world refreshed news websites and social media feeds repeatedly, checking the clock for the latest developments. International organizations, including the United Nations, convened emergency sessions, with diplomats discussing the situation in urgent meetings, calling for restraint and clarity. Economists and energy experts warned that Venezuela's oil production could be disrupted, causing fluctuations in global markets. Financial news tickers displayed real-time data, and anchors reminded viewers that every minute mattered in a story with so many unknowns. The suspense was not only political, but also personal. Families with relatives in Venezuela were glued to updates, worried about safety and the unfolding chaos. Humanitarian groups voiced concern about potential civilian casualties, urging the world to focus on protecting innocent lives, while the high-stakes political drama continued. Meanwhile, analysts debated potential outcomes. Some suggested that Maduro's removal could lead to a power vacuum, regional instability, or even civil unrest, while others speculated that loyalist forces might regroup and counteract the U.S. operation. Time became a central theme in the coverage. Each passing hour added pressure, as world leaders needed to respond quickly and responsibly. Governments scrambled to issue statements, some pledging support to Venezuela's existing government, others offering aid or mediation in case of escalating conflict. The media played a key role in shaping perception, using hooks such as dramatic headlines, breaking news alerts, and live video feeds to draw audiences into the unfolding narrative. Even as the day progressed, new information kept appearing. Reports of military movements, public demonstrations, roadblocks, and emergency communications from Venezuelan authorities. Each report acted as a hook, prompting viewers to stay connected and analyze every detail. Analysts also highlighted the broader implications for international relations. Could this operation set a precedent for military interventions in sovereign nations? Would it influence alliances, trade, and diplomacy in Latin America and beyond? Every expert comment, every tweet, and every news clip added layers of complexity to an already tense situation. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens in Venezuela were navigating a city transformed overnight. Streets were filled with military vehicles, checkpoints, and citizens either fleeing, observing, or protesting. Each moment of activity, captured by cameras or mobile phones, became a hook in the global narrative, spreading rapidly across social media platforms. Time-sensitive updates kept audiences engaged, making the story feel alive and unpredictable. Even as journalists worked tirelessly to verify facts, rumors continued to multiply, feeding both anxiety and curiosity. Governments monitored each other's responses closely, ready to adjust policies based on the evolving situation. By mid-afternoon, the world had become part of a collective suspense, where each new update, video, or statement acted as a hook, drawing everyone further into the uncertainty. Newsrooms reminded viewers constantly about the exact time, emphasizing how quickly events could shift. Each tick of the clock increased pressure on leaders, analysts, and citizens alike, highlighting the urgency and unpredictability of the situation. The U.S. defended its operation, claiming it was necessary to target corruption, criminal networks, and threats to regional stability, while critics warned of violations of sovereignty and potential long-term consequences. Economists, political analysts, and diplomats weighed in continuously, offering predictions, warnings, and solutions, all of which acted as hooks for a global audience trying to make sense of the chaos. Social media, television, and online news became a single pulse of real-time updates, with every viewer following closely, checking timestamps, and sharing information. In this way, the story of the U.S. strike and Maduro's alleged capture transcended national boundaries, becoming a global narrative of suspense, uncertainty, and urgent attention, with time, hooks, and real-time updates driving the world's engagement with an event unlike anything seen in recent history. As the hours passed, the consequences of the U.S. strike and the alleged capture of President Nicolás Maduro began to unfold across Venezuela and the world. Reports suggested that some Venezuelan military units were repositioning, while key government offices increased security. Citizens expressed fear and uncertainty, with some leaving their homes to see the situation, while others stayed inside, barricaded for safety. News outlets continued live coverage, giving minute-by-minute updates with exact timestamps to show how fast events were changing. Analysts warned that the operation, if successful, could create a power vacuum, leading to unrest, political instability, and even humanitarian crises. Economists predicted fluctuations in oil markets, as Venezuela is a major oil producer, and any disruption could affect global prices. Meanwhile, international organizations called for calm, demanding clarity and verification of the alleged capture. Social media remained full of videos, tweets, and updates, some real and some misleading, each acting as a hook keeping people glued to their screens. The suspense was relentless. Every hour brought new speculation, new analysis, and new questions about the future of Venezuela. Even citizens far from Caracas were following the story, watching live feeds, and tracking the time to see the latest developments. Governments debated possible responses, weighing diplomacy against potential escalation, and each new statement added tension to an already delicate situation. The world watched closely, knowing that one misstep could trigger serious consequences, both regionally and globally. The situation highlighted how time, communication, and media hooks could drive global attention, as people waited for confirmation, verification, and the next update. It was a story of uncertainty, suspense, and high stakes, showing how one event can ripple across nations, economies, and societies. As the day turned into night, analysts, journalists, and ordinary citizens continued to follow every new development, each moment acting as a hook that kept the world engaged. The alleged capture of Maduro remained unverified, but the impact of the operation was already undeniable. By the end of the day, it was clear that history had been made, with consequences that would be felt for months, if not years. Before we end this report, remember to subscribe to our channel, Military Soul, for the latest updates on military operations, international events, and breaking news. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative and suspenseful, and share it with friends who want to stay informed. Your support helps us bring real-time news, detailed analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories straight to you. Stay tuned to Military Soul, because the world of global military events moves fast, and we'll keep you updated with every twist and turn. Thank you for watching, and always stay alert, because in times like these, every second counts, every update matters, and every story is a part of history unfolding right before our eyes.